Jesus Christ. Yeah, I think busy drinking, huh? Let him party.
The majority of Carlton supporters.
All right, I think we'll kick it off, Pete. First off, who's ready for the Collingwood Carlton game tonight? Hey. All right.
Geez, they can't be waiting that up. Come on, give us a big cheer, will you? Who's waiting for the game tonight? That's better. Jeez. Not taking you into the box with me tonight. You're boring.
All right, so we'll kick things off with the great Peter Daicos. First question we want to ask is, how did it feel 1990 breaking the premiership drought, breaking the Collie Wobbles?
Look, I'll be honest. Firstly, we're going back 34 years ago, and the other thing about that grand final is we were in Melbourne only for about 5 days, and 5 of which we probably were a bit incoherent. So we've been celebrating after 32 years of having, listen to Collie Wobbles and not being able to come home in the big dance, as they say. I mean, it was a huge relief. So, no, we were the champions of the football world, and we celebrated like champions without going into it too deep. But we ended up on the Wednesday. The Saturday the game was played, and on Wednesday we're in London. So we didn't spend too many days. But look, as a footballer, it's the only year I can remember. I don't remember a lot about other years. But wherever I go these days, people constantly bring it up and they talk about the experience of, what it meant to them, and so it's constantly relived.
Yeah. So talking about that, and I guess moving through that, 1991, it's the premiership defence here, culminated in no sort of finals, and the Pies at the moment are sort of going through that right now on the precipice of the top 8. How did it go from being the hunter to the hunted, and what can you sort of talk about us at the moment?
Well, what tends to happen, I mean, it's like when a young footballer comes along and he has a big year in football, and they talk about second year blues. There's a lot more emphasis, a lot more focus going into the next year. But when you win a grand final, if you think about our grand final year, we had a forward line combined that kicked something like 250 goals. Yep. I mean, everyone kicked 30, 40, 50 goals. Graham Wright, finished second in the Brownlow. Shorey was in the top 3 of the possession getters in the competition. You had Pants on the other side, one of the leading players. So, a lot has to go right for you, and by that I mean form too. Yeah. So replicating your form is sometimes a little bit hard. I know it looks a bit silly when you've got, in the modern era, Geelong and some of these teams that have constantly stayed up there and have been consistently successful. This year's been a little bit of a slip, but let's face it, you're only as good as your list. Yep. And we've had a lot of injuries without, that's what it gets back to, injuries, you lose a little bit of form. So I'm hoping this week, what better week to get your form back by giving Carlton a touch-up. Yeah. And I'm not talking about a big touch-up, I'm talking about, I just want Carlton to be in front for the whole game, and then in the last 2 minutes we steal it again. That way, honestly, that's a good night's sleep for me.
And are you going to be getting yourself on TV again?
Well, no. Look. Yes, you probably noticed I do get a bit excited, and but can I tell you, if Channel 7 or whoever beamed to me when Collingwood kicked the goal, I am just as ecstatic. Yeah. I mean, I know what it's about as a footballer. I mean, you can get a game, which is one thing, but taking it to the next level, I mean, being a team success is about playing finals and then, taking it from there. So in the end, I have not one boy playing, 2 boys playing. So for me, we get to see all the work they put in. You get to see a finished product. So I want them and the rest of their teammates and the club to experience finals. So I love it. People think I have a bit too much to drink. Honestly, it's... No, I don't drink a lot, maybe 25 beers or something. No, I don't. No, seriously. Honestly, that is that is pure adrenaline because, and let me tell you, this is what I say to people, put this into context. You know, like tonight there'll be 85,000 there, plus. Carlton kick a goal, they go ballistic. We kick a goal, it goes ballistic.
Yep.
I have one boy playing. Oh no, let me take that back. I have two boys playing. So my emotions escalate. And then, in the last game, Nick just happens to kick the winning grand final. Now, I'm not going to sit there going like that. I am absolutely over the moon. So, you know, emotion, don't take the emotion out of the game because, you know, who wants to go to a game of football and be bored?
100%.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's about yelling and screaming and enjoying the game.
100%. Nah. And look, talking about Josh and Nick, both had an incredible couple of seasons. Josh gets picked up in the 50s. Nick obviously goes in the top 5. Was there a sort of time where, you know, you had to sort of push them to sort of pursue their goals, or were they always headstrong about playing football?
Oh no, look, people always say to me, and the boys will say, oh Dad, he never pushed this. I mean, I did push him subtly, but I didn't need to tell him to train. I didn't need to tell him, you know, to focus on their football. If I had seen a drop-off, and the only drop-off I ever seen was when they wanted to mix it in with 2 or 3 other sports. And I'm saying, if you want to do something, do one sport and put all your energy in, your focus, because we play a touch sport, so you need to feel the ball. At the end of the day, no one can explain to you how hard you need to kick it. You need to feel that. So it's a constant thing with your training and touch. So I've never had to push them. Yeah.
You've played with some greats along the way. You've seen some greats. Today is not only is it, you know, do or die against our arch rivals, but it's Scott Pendlebury's 400th game, and an absolute legend, not only of the club but of the footballing world at the moment. Can you sort of talk to us about Pendles and, you know, taking the boys under his wing and where you think he ranks out of, with everyone that you've seen and played with?
Well, I remember when the boys first went to the football club and they're new to the football club, and the first thing my father used to say to me, look and learn, listen and learn. So, you know, and the first thing I said to the boys was, especially Josh, is you make a beeline to the best trainer, and in this case, the best player as well. And we're talking about Pendles, and I think, you know, he has been faultless in his approach to the game, on and off the field. I mean, you don't get a better ambassador or spokesperson for the football club. I mean, and as a footballer, what you're looking for is consistency. So, you know, my estimations and my view on Pendles has only gone up because I also get a lot of feedback from the boys now.
Yeah.
So, you know, he's been a wonderful player, and as a player, ex-player, they're the sort of people you want around the football club, because that's the learnings you give. That's the learnings you give a lot of the kids. So at the end of the day, that he has been not only a catalyst in some of Collingwood's success, but he's also been a catalyst in say the players' football careers as well.
And where do you rank him amongst the best Collingwood players? Because your name's up there, but where do you rank him? Higher than you, or?
Look, different eras, different luxuries afforded to players these days, where they just to focus on better medical treatment. We didn't get any medical treatment. You just ran injuries out. You know, the diagnosis was never good. So they shot you up and you went out there and that was it. You know. So having said that, he's definitely you'd have to put him at the top of the pile, or very close to. Which, you know, even Swanee I'd throw in there in the modern era. I mean, what they've been able to do. So, you know, but it's very hard to compare footballers, because when you compare people, you've got to have a level playing field. You know. So having said that, it works both ways. But again, you know, there's no questioning where he sits in the modern game.
100%. Look, what we're going to do now is we're going to open up the floor to questions for Peter Daicos.
This should be interesting.
Yeah, we'll go up here first, then we'll go down there.
I was at Victoria Park when Collingwood played Richmond. I had the reserve seats in the West End, and you kicked goal of the year. I'll never forget that. What was your point of view to talk to your sons about whatever you've done for Collingwood that year?
I don't really talk to the boys about what I've done. I mean, if you came to my house, I don't have one photo up of football on the wall. I mean, it's not about, I don't want to be defined by having had a career at Collingwood. I mean, that was a career for me. I loved every minute of it. I wish I was still doing it.
That was my best highlight.
At the end of the day, I'm their dad. I'm not, I sort of separated a bit. And as for, I'll be honest, with football at home we don't talk a lot of footy because they get so much football. We've got to make sure that we've got a bit of a safe haven for the boys. We've got to make sure that there's a bit of a release of all the football talk. Yeah. So.
Beautiful.
I'm sure they've probably looked at some YouTube stuff.
Thanks, mate.
One of my best mates.
Yep.
Might just say something. Just everybody, a round of applause for Swoop Luke for organising this event.
No, it's all been close. It's all
Puts a
been
lot of
close.
effort into it.
No, it's all been
Well,
close.
both. Thank you, Luke. Well done.
Thank you.
James, how you going, buddy? How you going?
Just into my turn.
Hey, it's Collingwood Carlton tonight. We all hate Carlton, obviously. Just want to know, when did the hatred start and how real was it for the players? The fans hate Carlton, obviously. How real was it for the players?
Yeah, I'm not sure if you heard it, but read the
Yeah, totally fine.
Out of here.
Yeah, so,
I'm just letting you know.
yeah, we'll just wrap it up soon anyway.
Look, that was born years ago. And in a sense, anyone that lived in Carlton, buried to Carlton, suburban grounds, Collingwood lived in Collingwood. But I think how it was born was probably 1970. I think it's sort of probably compounded because when you've got two teams with big supporter base, there's a lot of talk about those teams, and when those teams play, when I played, I mean, you'd still fill the suburban grounds. You'd have to get there before 11 o'clock and there'd be 30,000 there. So I think 1970 created a real rivalry because of clearly the Carlton comeback, and we were 7 goals up and we let Carlton win, and that sort of to balance out the competition. But at the end of the day, I reckon it was born and compounded back then, and then it's just grown as a footballer. I used to love playing Carlton games because you knew as a footballer you wanted to play in those big games. They were spoken about all week. They were anticipated weeks in advance. So, for me, it was huge. And as a footballer, all you want to do was play, as I say, on the big stage.
Do we have any more questions for Pete before we let him go? Actually, I got a question for you. I'm a celebrity. The Jungle.
No, I'm a celebrity.
I'm definitely not a celebrity. So you're a celebrity in the Jungle. How was that? It looked crazy. We were all voting for you. How was it?
Well, can I be honest, and don't let this go anywhere, even though we've got all these cameras there. No, when the cameras are off, they put you in 5-star hotels and we have 5-course meals. No. I'll get back to 10, I'll get sued. But no, what you witnessed is what it was. There was no food. You had no idea, semblance of time. It was either day or night time. Cold running water, no running toilet. No food. I mean, it was hard going, and I think all you have, if you think about your life doesn't stop.
Yeah.
We have phones. If you're bored, you can walk down the street, go get a burger. Go and visit your neighbour. Go to the fridge. Flick the TV on. There's nothing there. So the only thing you have is your own thoughts, which was nice to actually slow my life down, to be quite honest. I've never experienced anything like that. It was, you might as well have said, I was in a coma. I mean, but that's what it was. I was, there was just nothing to do. And that's how they get reaction. They're about getting reaction out of you. And then, and all we had was, I had my campmates, so... And when I walked in, for me that was scary because I knew no one. I had no idea. Candice Warner I had seen, so I knew Candy. had never met her. Everyone else was a blur to me in that respect. And the good part is, you know, I got to know them. They didn't know who I was either. So I told them I was Nathan Buckley. But they knew a little bit about Aussie rules footy. Clearly, it's so exposed. But I mean, I finished playing 30 years ago, so it's a little bit hard to sit there and, you know, sort of try and rekindle that. So, but it was. We clearly got a connection now. I mean, I don't see him every day. We have slightly. I've got in touch with a few of the camp mates, and I'm sure I'll run into them as we move forward.
Yeah. And look, Pete, thank you for coming out to the Pink Lemonade. Before we let you go, predictions for tonight. Collingwood by how much?
Well, I always like being fair, you know. I like being fair. Like, I got a lot of respect for Carlton. They've only got 2 players, and that's Kerno and Chris. Chris? No, so I've got Collingwood on the brain. Cripper. Well, let's call him Crispy for this. So, no, they've got a few. They've got some very good players. Look, it's going to be a really, really hard game. Without a doubt, if you think about it, they're talking, they want top 4. Yeah. We want to play finals. I mean, I'll tell you what these sort of games bring me. In life and football terms, we can evaluate players based on statistics. The greatest thought you have is to get your thought and what's going on in here to yourself. Tonight you should get a real thing. If I don't get a team, or if I was playing and I don't get a teammate, I'll know in the first 5 minutes whether my teammate is fair income. Yeah. And that's, you know, a beeline for the ball. It'll start in the middle, as they say. And no one can shirk it. I mean, this is their whole season. This is not just one game when we don't play finals. Yeah. Think of all the work that's gone into it. The pre-season, every game, the smashing, the crashing, the ups and downs emotionally. So, look, and they're in the same boat. Yeah. You know, they've had a long year. They don't want it to slip. But I'd be going after their weaknesses. You know, that's what you do in football. Look at their weaknesses, and that's who you play through. And that's who you've got to bang up, because then you go, we've got a couple of their blokes in their pocket and they're a couple short or whatever. So that's how it used to be in the old days. We had some pretty rough and tumble guys like Pants running around and Craig Kelly running around, so who always tested the opposition. So Banksy. So having said that, look, it's going to be a torrid affair, as they say, and it's a standard line, I know, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be close. Collingwood by 11 goals.
Just quickly, thank you, Swoop, Luke and Peter. Everybody raise your glass.
Baby, thanks, mate.
Thank you, mate. Thank you.
I reckon, was that...
I can't hear you!
MCG the last time we beat them?
I can't hear you!
Thank you, guys. Thanks for rocking out. Up the Maggies!
All right, well, let's get a photo.